Good morning, everybody. We are back from our trip to actually across the
Romney.
country. Yeah, well, across the country, actually.
And don't
And
forget
outs,
Toronto.
yeah, and outside of the country to the Fancy Food Show in New York City, which was great. And we got all sorts of exciting information and made all sorts of great connections. But yeah, we flew to Toronto first and met up with our favorite and only retailer so far
All right.
up in Toronto, and we have an interview coming that was videotaped when we were there, so we'll forward that on to everybody to read and listen to. But spent a couple days there, had a wonderful time. It was in the middle of FIFA, so soccer craze was going on everywhere in
Right.
town. Yeah, it was really fun to see. And then we flew down to New York. First thing we did was spend a couple of days with the North American Olive Oil Alliance, which is the trade organization that represents producers and importers in the United States. So it was a great meeting. We are one of the smallest producers that actually represent at the meeting. Typically, the producers and the groups that come are major importers and producers from Europe, and so we feel like the small potatoes, but our voice is heard, and we have
Right.
our ideas about how the olive
And
oil sector
concerns. Right.
and concerns about what's going on with the olive oil sector in the United States. But it was a great meeting, learned a lot of information, and met with a lot of really interesting people. Obviously, the passion about olive oil was present with everybody, so it's a common denominator that brings everybody together, no matter where you're from.
Just not in United States, but also in Europe too. Like our Norwegian friend told us that they're also taking a big step about eliminating plastic. So is United States at the moment. At the meeting, they were talking about it that 8 states out of the 50 are taking really hardcore on eliminating plastic out of the system. So we just came. I mean, today is our second day back home, so we need to find the agencies to figure it out.
See what our
Elimination,
responsibilities are
right?
going to be.
So we have to, obey the rules and regulations. So there's a big project ahead of us. Have to eliminate plastic completely.
And I think it's a great, idea, and it's the regulation is necessary because plastics are becoming, or have been for a long time, a problem in the waste stream. It's going to be a painful period of transition, but ultimately, I think we'll figure out how to deal with it. But that was high on the agenda as well. So learned a lot of good things and got a lot of great information. And then from there, we went on to the Fancy Food Show, and as always, it's just
Thousands, millions of food to
it is
taste. It
just
was
food from
amazing.
literally
Amazing.
every country in the world.
Yeah.
Every country. This huge convention center is full of all these stands from all these amazing producers, and there's large and small. There's some of the biggest food producers and food producing countries: Italy, Spain, Greece, Turkey, Japan,
And
Korea.
Morocco,
Yeah, Morocco,
Jordan. Yeah.
Tunisia. We Saudi Arabia had a huge pavilion, and all they had in the pavilion was dates. They didn't have anything else. It's everybody's booth was full of dates.
Yeah, different how they process the dates.
Yeah, yeah.
But it really didn't matter wherever we went in New York show, the fancy food show, or in our little stores in our hometowns where we do tasting. Always the same questions. Always. Oh, can you cook with olive oil?
Mhm.
How do you use the olive oil? Of course, people who live in a Mediterranean basin, they all know how to utilize the olive oil. But I'm still so amazed, even though we have so much information about the olive oil, good, bad, but there is so many other recipes, how to cook, how to bake, when to use, how to use the olive oil. There is still questions, like we went to cooking class yesterday. There is a smoke point question, which is, extra virgin olive oil. It's been tested by University of Harvard many times that higher the polyphenols, more stable the oil compared to any oil that's around, right? Even with that, there is always still a question about a smoke point, cooking, baking.
Right.
I was like, there is doesn't matter how much you repeat the same information, but so many people still are not aware. So that's my intake so far, everyone that we come across as a consumers.
Yeah, it's most dominant in everybody's mind, and it is what prevents them from seeing olive oil as a cooking ingredient. To
Right.
them, it's like, oh, I can't cook with it, so I can top my food with it. But we try and reassure everybody that it is the only oil that you should be cooking with. Frying, sautéing, baking, whatever you want to do, the stability of the oil is the best there is.
And we were talking many people yesterday at the cooking show as well, that people who came that cooking show, people who care about their health, and they were willing to do whatever is going to change and better their health. But some of them were learn all these qualities of food being medicine later in their life, or when they get sick. So we had a consumer yesterday, a customer that was, she had a cancer. And we were talking about, prices of the food and organic food, expensive. And that's also limitation for some people to move into that, what you call a lifestyle, because they think it's expensive. But this, yeah, I shouldn't say young lady, but this consumer said that, once when you start cancer therapy, chemotherapy, all that fees, the rest of your lifetime, what you buy in olive oil, for example, is much cheaper. So really, we need to, think about our health.
Investing in our
Right.
health.
In a young age, not when we get sick. It's you're already sick, right? It's little one step behind the whole process.
Right.
Our message is going to be same all the time, because there is so many people still missing the information, right? Start changing lifestyle early in your lifetime, and pay attention what you put in your mouth, because if you want to have a quality life in the future as you get old, you must pay attention food you are eating. And the simplest thing we were saying yesterday, we said too, in your kitchen, if you have to change anything, it should be your oil.
And it should be Oro di Milas.
Absolutely. There is no doubt. I mean, there is many different cultivars around the world.
There's a lot of good olive oils.
Yes,
but
we taste
we're
it.
partial to
Yeah,
ours.
but we taste it. But it's so funny. You can, out of all those oils, Oro de Milas has its own character that others don't have.
I agree.
That green smell, cut grass or green tomato leaf or fig leaf smell, and green almond.
The aroma is intoxicating, and
Yeah,
then when you
that
taste
freshness
it,
is
and then when you
amazing.
taste it,
Yeah.
it seals the deal because
Right.
it's such a wonderful fresh flavor, and it's
So
like a
well
fruit juice.
balanced.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes you feel like when you smell it, you are in those mountains within the trees.
Yeah.
You walk in and smelling the dirt and the trees and all that green beauty.
One of the things too that we discovered or noticed last night in this class we went to, and we should give a shout out to Salad Masters International because that's the group that puts this class on. It was so heartening to see this mother had her three kids. There were three
Yeah,
kids in it.
three
And
kids.
they were all engaged in the class. They were asking questions. They were helping serve the food. They were just, involved. And that's like she's saying, that's when it needs to start.
Right.
The parents need to engage and include their kids in the idea
Healthy
that
eating.
what you put in your mouth is going to determine,
Right.
how your health goes throughout your life. So
Yeah.
it was really, really exciting for us to see these
I
kids.
mean, of course, we are here to help anyone that wants to change their lifestyle. Young, old, middle age, doesn't really matter, sick, healthy. It's most important that for us to get the information out.
Right.
And there is never too late. If you
Never.
are sick chronically, you have, heart condition, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever, right? All these not gonna go away overnight. Doesn't really matter even if you take pharmaceutical medicines. But we are offering is an organic natural medicine, is a food baseline oil, is that incorporate in your life every day. It's gonna give you some type of relief for long term.
And
It's
it's a
not a quick
baseline.
fix,
No,
right?
but it's a baseline, and it also is about thinking that not only is this a good baseline to put as an ingredient in my food, but if you stop getting away from processed foods, stop using seed oils, and use this oil to include as a culinary ingredient to everything you make, then you're going to
Yeah.
start getting more fresh foods and non-processed foods, and that's
You're
part of the
gonna feel
lifestyle.
better. Your energy
Yeah.
level's gonna go up because I have a customer from Bend, Oregon. She sent me a message saying she used to have a chronic arthritis ache, but then she started taking my oil every day. Her pain is gone, so she's like, I cannot stop taking it. That's like a natural anti-inflammatory for her.
Absolutely.
So everybody responds it differently, but you respond drastic or slow, it really doesn't matter. Something that we have to change in our lifestyle, that incorporating good oil, extra virgin olive oil, with every day, choosing a good food to eat that starts with vegetables and freshness, right? There's,
Fresh fruits and
yeah,
vegetables, organic where possible. But
right.
it's again, it's just the linchpin of a lifestyle change that not only is about what you eat, it's about exercising, activity, all the things that allow us to be healthy as humans.
So, extra virgin olive oil has a lot of antioxidant. As same time, there is some great food, and fruits also have
Mhm.
antioxidant. So, if we incorporate all this together every day of our life, and then you remember the motto of the United States: food is a medicine, and naturally something that you consume every day is gonna make you feel better.
Good
So
food is a great medicine.
we know we're all gonna get old. You cannot stop the
Not
time.
me. I'm not. No way.
But getting healthy old is a completely different choice.
Absolutely.
Choices that we make.
We learned so much at the fancy food show because pretty much every food that you consume in the United States and that is on the shelves in stores in the United States is represented at this show. Everything from every different country. And there's good foods, there's bad foods, there's horrible foods, and everything in between. And really, it was an opportunity to go around and spend time talking to vendors about their products and how they make them, and what are their core philosophies in bringing this food to the world, and what they're doing. And really, it's just a great opportunity for us to learn about what is out there, and how producers think about what they're doing and how they're doing it. There's a lot of food producers and importers that are similar mindset to what we use in our core philosophy, which is we're boutique level, we're small, we're focused on providing the best product possible
Quality, yeah.
and quality, and there's a cost penalty for that. And these producers are in the same boat we are, because you can't produce a very good high quality product without it costing more than what everything else on the shelf at the store can be bought for. But if people can look past that, and I understand economically, a lot of people are on budgets, but these are where you don't make your concessions. With what you put in your mouth should always be what you're willing to spend a little bit more money on, and recognize that the value is there in your health and longevity.
Yes, because at the end, your health is the most important.
Absolutely. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, we like people to follow us in the YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bye.